Good morning, it's Rosalie with Can't Wait to Plan. How you guys doing? Okay, so today I am posting and doing a YouTube hop with the group called Paper Crafters YouTubers. Paper crafting or paper crafter, I can't remember. But anyway, all the links of all the ladies or my crafty friends that are participating is right below, so please be sure to check them out. There's a lot of people participating, so check that out. This month they're doing one a month, and it's always, I think it's always on the first the first part of the month. And this month for the September hop, it is focusing on I'm fully booked. That's the theme, and it could be anything. It could be first day of school, a book you read, just however you interpret it. Okay, so I'm actually going to focus or theme my double page layout with my our preparation and the first day of my son going off to college. This is my son. Isn't he so cute? Let me see if I can even see it from up here since I'm standing down. That's my husband and my son Dylan, and that's my dog 𝘄𝗶𝗫𝗃, our dog 𝘄𝗶𝗃, and 𝘄𝗶𝗃. They're brothers. This guy is blind, so he never look up, poor thing. This guy is going blind as well because it's a genetic disease, and he only have 3 legs. If you can see there, 𝘄𝗶𝗃 lost his leg due to cancer about 3 years ago, and he has this weird cancer that kept reappearing, but it's not fast growing. But last time it appeared, it was in his leg, which they can't really take out because there's so much bones. So, and I really don't want to keep a mass that big inside his body, even if it's slow growing. You never know, right? So we decided to take off his leg. He's managing okay, but he gained a little bit of weight. But look at that cute little face. And that's my husband, Dennis. But anyway, so this is my son. He wanted to take photos with his whole family on that day where they're getting ready to leave to drive the car to University of Arizona. We live in Southern California, so it's not too far. And because my daughter started her sophomore year in high school the week before, so we were going to join them and go with them and so forth, but that didn't quite work out. So I'm staying home with Kayla and the 2 boys, and this is the first set of double pages, along with, quite a few more. But anyway, so this is them. This is Dylan with 𝘄𝗶𝗃. 𝘄𝗶𝗃 is his favorite doggy. He kind of ignored 𝘄𝗶𝗃 a little bit. I feel so sad for 𝘄𝗶𝗃. Anyway, and this is mommy. Oh my God, I'm so fat and ugly. And this one, I'm in my pajamas still and no makeup or anything because I didn't realize he wanted to take pictures that morning. And there's more with his sister and everything else. So I decided, it's a boy album. So I don't want too much embellishment, too much colors. His favorite color is blue and green, and obviously, he's wearing gray here. So I thought, so first of all, I always like my photos matte with a white mat. There's, you can always do more like this one, but primarily I wanted to first of all matte, the white mat first. So I did that already. I put it on some white cardstock paper. Sometimes I use cream, but because we are using a white background, we're going to use white. And I did that with these 2. And this one I decided to do, we have this, I have this really old, I was trying to pull all of my kind of neutral out, and I have this really old thing called from Carol, it was like so old, But it's really pretty. It's called Tingling Punch Out. I don't know, whatever, from 𝘀𝗶𝗁 Creations. 2003. Can you freaking believe this? In any case, so that's the that's what I use as a frame. I had this color scheme, and then the other color scheme is that kind of reddish, you know, rusty reddish and brown. This is kind of an olive green, in case you can't tell. So that's what I use. So and it is quite large. I mean, it's you know, this part I don't plan to use, so I cut it down and sort of just manipulate it a little bit. I had to make it also a little bit bigger because, you know, we are, both of us, Dennis and myself, are fat. No, just seriously. The pictures I wanted a little bit bigger too. Actually, I should have even made it bigger, but I want the 3 photos to be relatively similar in size. I'm following kind of a sketch from a class that I'm taking, but she is not allowing us to share the sketch, so I'm not doing it. But anyway, I didn't stay too true to the sketch at all. So my question, I mean, not my question, my thinking is, okay, I could do kind of like a light gray background. I could do a light blue. I could do, you know, light green or something. But I decided at the end to do wood. So I took out all of my wood paper that I have it saved separately, and a lot of these are old. I didn't even look into new collection where they may be wood paper in there, because I don't even know what they are. I gotta categorize them and keywords them before I can find them. But so these are some of the one I have, and based on the photo and everything else, I wanted it to try to pick one that, you know, this one is maybe okay. The texture is a little bit much. At least I think for him, he's tend to be a very simple guy. This one is way too yellow. This one would have worked really well, I think, but the rivet bugs me a bit, so I didn't want to use that. This one is okay, but it's a bit dark. So I didn't think that would work too. You know, it would work, but it's not my fave. This one is just a little bit too yellow, and this one actually is good. It kind of go with a little bit of the reddish I could use from here, but the rest of the clothing and everything else and the photos is quite a bit more cooler color. So I thought this would be a little bit too warm. I thought this was perfect. And then this, we also had this one, which is just too much texture and everything else. So I decided to use this. It was a paper loft, an old paper loft paper called Old Wood. That's basically what it is. It actually go up and down like this, but I decided I like it better horizontal. So that's what I use. So I took one paper, and I went, what I wanted to do was to put it on white. I actually glued this down to the table so it doesn't move around too much, but it's removable tape, so I can pull it up. But I just took some pattern paper that I have that I don't plan to use. I have it too much or whatever, and because I don't have any really good just white paper that I can use as the background. And because the paper is, I thought that this one was a little bit, I don't know, a little bit, kind of had a little bit of pink in it. I don't know if you can tell with the, on the camera, but, and it's a little small. I actually decided I want to cut it off. But I left a bit of that little darker edge there. I like the effects it has, kind of almost like a border. So that's what I did, okay? And I turn it sideways, like I mentioned. So I just cut that part off, and that made this about 9.5, just so in case. And I kept the 12, okay? And so I decided to go something like this, and kept, you know, maybe what, in case you wanted to know the size, about, oh, this is almost like a square, a 9, a little bit more than 9.25 onto that side, and the rest of the 12 by 12 paper on this side. So what's that? The like 2, 2 and 7/5 on this side. Okay, so I'm gonna go, and what I did too is I kind of what do you call it? Distress the edges. I use, so I bought this a while back. It came in a bundle. It's the Tim Holtz distress thingy, but I don't know if I'm using it right. I didn't want to distress this edge, okay, because I do use album that are edge to edge. It is not a 3-ring album. What do you call that? Post bound. And so I didn't want to distress that because it meant to be kind of continuous. So I distressed the other 3 sides, and I try to use this, but maybe I'm using it wrong. I'm going to try again on this side because I left one edge so I can do it with you. And then I ink it, and I inked it beforehand, but I also ink it a little bit afterwards because it seems like I was pulling off all of the ink when I was distressing it. So I'm going to try. So actually what I used was these. I have these chalk, small old color box ink pad called charcoal, because I thought the paper and his clothing and everything, and his clothing and everything else is reflect the charcoal. So I did use charcoal first. And one of the tricks that I use, just in case you don't do this, I know it helps for me, is the paper. This paper is not too thin, but it is thinner and it is much harder. And I like to do, this particular effects, I wanted to do more of a line instead of a smudge. So I don't want to use a thingy, what do you call this, a blending brush type thing. I wanted to more just smudge it. And so I just took a cardboard, something thicker, and I just put it at the edge, and that really helps for me when I ink it this way, because that's all I want it is to go like that. You see how it's kind of a little bit thicker and so forth. Yeah. And then because that is so gray, I didn't think that would work too well, because it is gray, but it's a warmer gray, right? So I mix it. I had also the same thing. This one is a pigment brush ink pad in bronze, and all I did was I smooch it. See how old it is, but you see how it sort of mimic this part of the thing. I think actually I was using something else that was even, anyway. So that was, walnut stain is the other one that I really like to use from Tim Holtz to do this type of thing. Okay, so that's all I did. And then let's try to use this again. Maybe I have to, I didn't use it. So this I did before, so that maybe, you see, it doesn't seem to, I mean, it does take it off, but I found that using an older scissors, and that way I can kind of bend it a little bit more, seems to be doing the trick more for me, because I kind of want to distress it a little bit more than just taking off the, the edge of the paper and so forth, not just to get it serrated. So I did there. And then, I came back and I just sort of roll and tear a little bit more. I mean, it's going to be probably flatten out a bit with the ones I put it in a sheet protector anyway, but it helps. And it's for a boy, and we're using weather wood here. So I thought that style will fit quite well with what we're doing. Okay, so now we're just going to, I like to put a thing back here, so when I do my ATGs, I don't know what the hell is the matter with this ATG. I have not used ATG gun for a long time yet. Really only been like one roll of tape so far, but it keeps slipping out on me. So I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or what, but, and I don't like to use it. So it is such a sticky and good tape that I tend to just do. I saw some of you use like the whole, like so many strip of it. my pages never seem to have any issues coming out. So I only use sparingly around the thing, and I'm sort of centering it on the 12 by 12 paper. I went up a little bit on the top because I know that a lot of my embellishment, the way I was kind of thinking, is going to be more towards the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and adhere this one too. And yeah, if I'm using this and gluing it down all the way to the edge of the paper, then maybe I would be more liberal with my seat. Yeah, I'm sure it's me. I've never seen anybody having so much trouble with this thing as I do. So if any of you have any tricks, please let me know, because I'm sick of fixing it. Anyway, if I have my paper all the way to the edge of the paper, I may use a little bit more at the edge just to make sure that things don't get peeled up. But nevertheless, this seems like it's a little bit shorter for some reason. And also this is going to be inside a sheet protector, so I'm not too concerned. Okay, so that look nice already. Okay, so so what I was thinking is to have 2 on this side, and then 1 maybe up a little bit on here. So after I put down that thing, that frame that we were using, I just thought it didn't pop enough. And because now the edge of the paper here is darker, I went and I just took a kind of a brown cardstock and a solid core cardstock, and I just distressed the edge a little bit. I didn't ink it or anything because it's super dark brown, but I distressed it a little bit. Let's do a little bit more. And I just thought that because this photo is the only one and his sister's not in it because she's taking the photo, but I thought that that's actually should be a little bit more pronounced, a little bit more focused, so that when you look at the layout, that's the one you focus on first. And it's also because it is a bit smaller because there's 3 people in the photo. I thought that emphasizing it that way would be better. So I was thinking of doing something like that. Okay, so actually I'm going to go ahead and glue this one down, because let's see if I don't mess it all up. Oops. I already so I want this one to be also, I put already a backing on this because I also like my photos to be sturdier. This one I actually wanted to pop up. So normally I use those foam thingy, fun foam or whatever you get from the store, but I had these stripped of cardstock that was just this weird size, and I had a whole bunch of them, so I used it to pop it up, and it's that way I use it up because I was storing it in my scrap bin under the white, and it was just taking so much space, and you know, it was oozing out. So anyway, so that's done with that. Okay. So I when I took out this this thing came as a page, you know, so when I took out the frame to cut down and use for this, the frame also come like this, right? Because it's always perforated already. And so when you take it out, you also have, I always cut down the outside so that way I can, a lot of time I do that with stickers and things, just so that way you could still have it on the backing. This one is not a sticker, but still I always save these just in case I could use it. And in this particular case, I thought it was really nice. So I wanted my title to be over here. And I looked through a lot of different things. And one of the sheet I had was this long 6 by 12 sheet of this chipboard frame. It has a bunch of frame, then it has these words in it, and in this black frame, see, I saved the frame again. In this black frame was these words family. Okay, so it was like this, and it's great. So I took out the words and I was going to use it. I actually was going to use it like this or whatever on the side, but and I always save, if they come like this, I always save the the negative, of course, because you can use it. So I back it up with white, and I thought actually that was a lot nicer than the other one. It's a little bit more impact because the page is going to be not so embellished because it's for my son and so forth. So this is what I decided to do. So I saved this thingy, right? This, the outside of it. I actually had to use one side of it to beef up this one because it was not visible enough. I kind of messed it up. It wasn't visible enough, so I used that side already, so I only have three-quarter of it left. But I thought it may be nice to do something like that. Okay, I make a mark for myself because I kind of laid out before. That was, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and put everything down. So normally when I do with HET tape, I just put it that way and that way and that way and that way. That's all I do for the tape. And for me, that's actually more than enough. And so forth. I don't kill it. Oops. Uh-oh. See how sticky it is. Don't do that. Oh, shit. See, it already, just 2 seconds, and it's already pulling it up with, so I have to rub this tape out of the photos. I did that a couple of times already, but anyway, you see how sticky this thing is. So you definitely don't need to overkill with the HET tape. That way save you some money if that's what you're interested in. But I guess okay, so then this one I'm gonna go this way, and I'm gonna, so I actually put the dog with Dylan in the middle because I thought it's nice to break out. Oh, and I did ink the side of this. I saved this to ink with you guys in case I didn't. So I'm gonna, this is already hard, so I don't need to use that cardboard thingy that I was showing you the trick, because this one is already a couple layers of paper. And so yeah, originally I was just gonna have it with the white frame on here, but this wood is a bit light, and it's it wasn't popping up the white frame as much. So that's why I thought maybe adding a little bit of dark inking on the outside after I distress it was also gonna help bring things out a little bit. Okay, so that was that. So let's do Daddy over here. I was thinking maybe up a tiny little bit. That's probably enough. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and do this side, but I'm going to make sure I don't tape it too far because I want to tuck that in. Okay, but this one I wanted a little bit higher because I was thinking that the journaling I have would be good to do down here because I have a little bit of journaling, and I also don't want to be too close here because this photo is a bit thicker, you know, with the things I pop up underneath. So I wanted to be able to close the album and everything else. Okay, so I'm just going to use a little bit of tacky glue. I wish I can get any of the fine line thingy to work because I bought this the berry or whatever, what is it called, the the bare glue, and the thing kept clogging, and I'm not using the right needles, the size of the needle to close it up, to plug it when I'm not using it. So it's not working for me, and so I'm trying to get that going, especially with things like this where it's so thin. It's driving me crazy right now, but oh well, it's okay. I don't need it to be glued down so far. So hopefully I can still adjust it a little bit if necessary. Okay, so I thought this will give it a little bit of, I don't know, just interest, you know? Just might as well use it, because it's kind of cute. I thought so. It's sort of, you know, just, I don't know, I told you, I like rectangular. I like frame for things, and I like things that are squarish and have borders, and, you know, just stay in line. Just whatever. So anyway, so I thought would be kind of cute. This part down here is so light, so you can't even see it. I can't even tell if it's straight. If this thing is so light, so thin. Anyway, okay. So originally I wasn't even gonna put the white paper underneath, because this is white already. But when I didn't do it, I had to make sure that the whatever tile that came on this side does not show the thing in the back. Then it was just limiting me too much, so I didn't do that. Okay, this is not straight, man. I'll go on the side a little bit here to check it. Okay. Oh, okay, I'm gonna rub the glue out afterwards using my little glue thingy. But anyway, so I'm gonna do, I think, like this, just like the way they had it at the thing. I think that's super cute, super pretty. Okay, so maybe something like that. You know, he's a manly man, right? He's my boy. So I thought that this would be striking, even though we don't have any black per se over there. But black is a neutral, right? It's like you're not even using it. And then as part of the 𝘀𝗂𝗽𝗃𝗃 creation, whatever frame thingy, they also have, just so you can see it from this side. So like for this set, which I took all apart already, it came with something like this, which is just like a journaling tag. And then this thing, I guess you could have done it like this or something like that. I didn't do it that way. But I thought so the set that come with this one was this, A Moment to Treasure, which I thought was perfect. So I wanted to use that as the actual title. This for me is not a title. It's like just saying that this is your family. So I put it on a cardboard, a chipboard or whatever, one of my scrap paper. I put it back here because I do want it to pop up. And then I went ahead and did a couple layers on here. And because I want it to be more like sideways like this, not center on the middle, I went ahead and add a few extra smaller pieces here, because I knew that it's gonna hang out on the side. Therefore, I didn't want it to, you know, to sag. So anyway, so I did that already, because I knew I wasn't going to have time to do any voiceover, nor have I really learned how to do voiceover yet. So I went ahead and did it ahead of time. That way I can get this done and out of there and publish for the hop. Okay, so that's how I wanted to have it. And then for here, again, so this is what I was thinking to do, something like that. What do you guys think? Yeah? What the hell? Just get it on there. Okay. So then I'm going to leave this for now, just in case I want to move anything. But okay, so this is done. This is done. Okay. So then let's actually do the journaling, because the journaling is a bit much. It's quite a bit. I wanted to see how it's going to look before I do the minimal embellishment I'm going to do. So I actually typed it up and put it on, it's on white cardstock, and I actually added a, so there's a total of 3 pieces of cardstock underneath here, because I want it to pop up a little bit and I don't want to use foam or anything. So I just added cardstock to cardstock or whatever. Okay, so here's the beginning and so on. So left. Okay, so here's this. So there's 9 lines. I've figured that out. So I'm just gonna kitty corner. They're all the same. They're all what do you mean not the same? They're pretty much the same length because I justify it and I did it that way. But I just want to lay it out to see how the week before, how it's gonna look. Okay, Arizona. Wow, it's good. It's pretty tight, isn't it? Maybe I should have put this up a little bit, but it's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this. I'm just going to use wet glue because I want to have a chance to kind of move it around a little bit. And since we have 3 layers of cardstock in here, I didn't think we were going to need to worry about warping or anything. Actually, I'm going to do this one because I wanted to flush this part on first. And that way maybe it will, because kind of, I want to do that so that doesn't show like it's a weird ending right there. But that's all the thingy I had. Oh, maybe I need to put it up a little bit. I think I have to put it up a little bit. See, the white glue is allow you to move it around a little bit. You know, usually I do my journaling without cutting it out. It's just like a box, but I think cutting it out in this particular scenario, which also follow what the sketch person suggested, is good because it's sort of, you know, because you're laying it on this thing, and I just thought it was nicer looking that way. I got to make sure everything is gonna fit correctly. I could start with the bottom one, but I don't think that's gonna help. If you only have a couple, then that's okay, right? But if you have this many, that's just gonna be how it is. Boy, doing this at the same time as you know, real time, it's super hard, right? You can't talk at the same time because you gotta focus, otherwise you're gonna mess up. So yeah, my son is not normally a photo person. He hates to have his photo taken, always make funny faces. But this morning, feeling a little bit homesick already, sentimental, he wanted to take photo with all of us, which is, my daughter was like, no, they teach each other all the time. And so my daughter's actually very happy that Dylan is leaving for college. So anyway, oh, that's good. It's not too bad. It's not going to be too far down on the bottom of the page, because that's going to feel a little bit 𝘄𝗶𝗸𝗲, to clutter down there. You know, these little piece of glue left over, I'm going to rub it out afterwards. So no worry there. Okay, so I'm normally a real embellish type person, so doing a boy's layout is tough for me because I keep wanting to use flowers and butterfly and everything else, right? But this is a good exercise in constraint instead of keep loading it off. And that bugs me. Okay, I said I was going to do it afterwards, but now it bugs me so much. I got to get it out. Yep, my nails. I need to go get my nails done. Anyway, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this too. This came with glue initially, but because it is so old, it's, I don't know why I did that with the the M first. I use my fingers a lot in craft. In eating too. I like to eat with my fingers. I probably should come from, what country is it that they eat with fingers a lot? Is it Africa or I mean, some of the Asian countries eat with their fingers a lot. I like that. You know, if you're gonna eat, enjoy your food. Grab life by the gusto. Instead of worrying about getting your hands dirty and stuff. My husband will use fork for everything. He probably like 𝘄𝗶𝗽𝗃 from what's that show about nothing? What is it? 𝘄𝗶𝗽𝗃 and oh my gosh, I can't remember what it's called. Somebody let me know. That bugs me. That comedy show that was so good with Elaine and 𝘄𝗶𝗽𝗃. Anyway, you know, that one episode where he eats his Snickers with, he saw somebody did it, and so he copied it, and he ate his Snickers with a fork and knife. He cut it up. It was so funny. He's so stupid, but it's just hilarious. I love his character. Actually, that show, I love all of the characters, which is rare. You know, that's probably why the show lasted for so long, so many seasons. Man, I think I'm crooked. It's like, oh my gosh. You know what? Fuck it. I don't care. Okay, so I think we're kind of done on that side. Let's focus on this side. Oopsie. So I got a few different embellishment. So let me see what I use. So I have this set from Dollar Tree. It's this one right here. So because I wanted to say home. This have the blue in it. That was nice. I got that. I didn't love the glitter. It doesn't go with it, even though it's silver, which is probably okay. But I didn't love that. So I'm going to change it. And actually, it was only... So what I do, by the way, just so... I'll show you in the next one, is you know how they came with Pop Dot already. I just took an extra piece of what do you call it? These things that came in the back of your stickers, or so old sticker sheet is great for this. This actually, I save a whole bunch of these. They're nice 8.5 by 11 size of these press and release type paper. It came in the back of my magnet sheet, my adhesive magnet sheet that I use for my dies. So anyway, with the Dollar Tree one, they don't use too many Pop Dots, so it's really easy to pull out. I actually did save it like that. I'm going to use that for something else. And originally I thought maybe, so I need something in this corner, I think. I didn't like it up here. But, you know, and originally I was going to use it with the background of here, but I think it looks better on this side. So I remember that I have the little bit of this paper left that was down here or wherever it was at. So I already cut out a piece that fits here, but I didn't... Actually, it's okay. I was going to maybe ink it a little bit, the whole thing with an inker. Just maybe try it a little bit so that it's not as different, but maybe different is good to help stand it out a bit, huh? Originally, I was just going to take a distressing, you know, walnut stain and just stain the whole thing like that, just to keep it a little bit warmer. Maybe I still do that, just a little bit, just to see. Maybe I'll start at the edge, see how I feel. This one is so dry, I barely do anything there. I did it a little bit, so I think that's enough. I think that actually having it lighter is useful. So I'm going to just keep it that way to use. And oops, God, I keep putting glue on. And I'm going to add a few more, what do you call these? Sticky glue bit, the foam dots onto here, because these I pull out of the thing. So I'm sure that's going to be super non-sticky already. So on these, what I do is I like taking the backing of these foam dots with a blunt and size slanted end of a forceps, or is that called forceps? I don't know. Anyway, and then use it that way. That seems to work really well for me. I love it. It's allowed me to put it on without any issues whatsoever. I'll put a couple more over here so it doesn't sink, okay? But it looks pretty good because they use a nice cardstock, so it's not going to sink down too much, because that was decent. Okay, so actually that's nice looking. Actually, I think I like this bottom down here. So yeah, I wanted the word to pop up on the thing a little bit and not just completely flat. But on this side, I'm gonna keep it flat. You know, I don't need to pop this one up. So I'm gonna go ahead and yeah, something like that, okay? Yeah, I'm not moving this up for you or anything because I already glued this down, just because it helps me to make sure that I'm in view at all times, because I don't have one of those set up where, you know, I have an iPad here to see what's in view. Okay, so that was the Dollar Tree stickers that we use. Then I wanted to have a camera of some sort. So I found a few cameras, but this one is the one I like the best. And it was from That's My Boy, an old Echo Park. This is from, it doesn't say, 2014, but I bought it recently. I bought it maybe 2 months ago from either Etsy or eBay. Although that's not the one. That's not the one that I use. Which one was that? Let me see. So that way I tell you the truth about the thing. I don't know which one. It was either that one or where's the other sheet? I can't find it at the moment, but it was one of the boys' collection. Oh, I know. It was here. Darn it, I don't know. I can't find that piece of sticker where I got it from, but nevertheless, it was one of the Echo Park boys collection, because I pull out all of the Echo Park stuff I have. I also wanted to use some arrows. So I found this arrow here, which I cut out. And what I always do is if I know I'm going to use it, I think I'm going to use it, then I just put it right on a cardstock. Otherwise, again, I would pull the sticker out. I don't like to cut into this because then the piece of paper become like all yucky. And so again, I put it on the glossy side of this this paper for the sticker paper, and then move it around. I trim around it. I do fussy cut around it just to see if I'm going to use it, and that way I can move it around and stuff. And then once I decide to use it, if I want to pop it up more, then I put it on a cardstock. Okay, so that way you can pop it up without any issues. Then I had purchased this. I did this in a haul from Diamond Press about maybe 6 months ago from HSN, and they had this on clearance. It was really nice, and they came with a bunch of wood thing, and they have some wood arrows here, so I picked that up. I have a cute little heart, not too much, but a tiny one, which is fine, and even a star on here. So I took these out. I thought that would work. Definitely not the word love or anything. No fancy embellishment like photo corners like that. And definitely not this filigree frame, but so I thought that would work well. And then I also found in my kind of neutral embellishment, this one that just say the word remember. It actually is a clock that has a metal frame. This is a sticker, but it has a metal looking like frame on the outside. I didn't want to use that because everything is quite squarish. So I just wanted to take this out. And again, I took the whole sticker off, put it on my press and release thing, and I love this. I got this recently after I watched somebody's video. I can't remember who it was, but I seen it before, but I never quite know how to use it, and I love it so much. If you have not used this, put a comment below, and I'll tell you if you're not sure what it's called. But it works so well for cutting out little areas. You have really a lot of control over it with regards to, instead of a regular sticky knife. So anyway, I was able to cut out the circle. I removed the thing, and then I just put this one back because I'm sure I'm going to use it for something else. Okay, so that's what that came in as. And okay, so that's basically it. So now let's just try to put it together. I was thinking maybe I was thinking of something, put the heart in the middle of the camera, but not this heart, but something like more like a sticker heart. I love stars. So a few of his some of his scrapbook page later I'm going to do with Dylan. For Dylan, I'm going to use star all over the place. I bought the star, I bought the collection. I didn't buy the whole collection, but I got a bunch of the paper from the new 𝘀𝗂𝗽𝗍 collection called oh my god, No Limits. They came out in the spring of this year. And I got a bunch of them, and a lot of them have stars. Some of them have stars on it. What do you think about this? Now this one, definitely don't want that. I do want it to have the whole hey, what you doing? The whole, my dog is, when he sleep, he kicks, he move around a lot. The whole background on that wood paper. I even thought maybe, you know, kind of movement, because he's going to move out of the house and move away. So maybe something like that. What do you think? It's okay? Yeah, it's good enough. So I'm gonna pop this side onto, I'm gonna do it right here. So that way it's not gonna stick on the photo. I don't like to put glue on my photos, but I do need a few of these pop dots. I always have this thing. I actually put, this is a almond roca box that for whatever reason fit my this thing I got a while back. What do you call these? A mug sleeves or whatever. And it's so cute. I was going to cover it with paper and everything, and then this fit perfectly. So I have this for my desktop trash can. Okay, so let's make sure we're going to, so I'm going to go on this corner. And maybe right here. So that way, and I think that's enough to get it stuck. I don't think it's gonna give me too much problem for not sticking, because it is such a small piece of embellishment. Oh, your 𝘄𝗍𝗃, he's so cute. He's so sweet. He said, Mommy, I don't know where to look. I think for this one, I'm just gonna have it pop on the outside. I don't need to have it on the same level as this, but I'd like to have it on the outside, so you can still see the three-dimensional when you put it down, but you don't have to have it down here because, and I'm not even gonna bother, I probably should glue it down a tiny little bit. Yes, somebody told me which good fine liner. I was going to buy the fine liner bottle from scrapbook.com. Then my friend Karen told me that sucks and she hates it. So I'm like, okay. She has arthritis or problem with her fingers and so forth, and I have arthritis. So for some people who loves it, that may be okay, but I know that my hands can give me trouble down. I'm going to put one more here. Down the line, so I don't want to use it where it's going to create issues for me. You know, like I can't squeeze it or something. So on this one, I'm going to have a couple pieces. Now if I'm going to glue it directly down to the paper, then I may use some glossy accent or something, but on this, I'm not. Yeah, I think on this side is cuter. And this one is so tiny. Okay, so this one, maybe I use some glossy accent here, or even just my AGT, but I don't like to use AGT when it's on such a small surface. It's hard for me to do, and also I feel like I'm wasting the thingy. And I probably need one pop-a dot here just to stabilize it, since it is kind of hanging a little bit. And then these, I can just add directly because it's going to be flat. Now these wood pieces probably need a little bit more glue than normal just because they're wood, you know. They're not quite, I really like the texture of this. You know, we have fake wood here, so now there's real wood. Okay, so I think this, since now I think I'm still gonna pop this up because I thought maybe I should flatten it, but I want it up a little bit, man, because I want this to be more like there. Okay, you know what? I'm going to put this on first, and that way I can see better. And the reason I take off the thing from here, because it's one after another, is in a row. So that's just very, what's the word? Very efficient when you do it like that. Yeah, I like that. Don't know that I need another arrow, but I don't know, I kind of like it. Okay, so now let's re-glue this baby because all of the glossy accent have already dried up. I have it done the right side. Yeah, these wood pieces are nice. You know, you can stain it with ink, or you can paint it or color it with alcohol ink and everything. But I actually do like the natural wood color quite a bit. So I'm glad that worked out in here. Okay, so that's actually all I was thinking of having on here. If I move it, it's gonna look weird, you know. Should have had the arrow over a little bit. Okay, so I think that's gonna be pretty much it. Let's see how everything will look. What do you guys think? You know, I have a lot of blue down here, and I know that I should have a cluster up here, but, and I don't really have a lot of blue up here. Oh, shoot, I forgot, yeah. So I'm gonna try to, maybe, okay, I did pull this out. I was gonna use it in the middle here, but I think maybe the way they have this tag, it's gonna be a little bit tough to use, but maybe I'll just put it up here. What do you guys think? Just to have a bit of blue and kind of a little bit more balance on the page. Whatever, what the hell. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. So I had backed these up with the sheet thing from the back of my magnetic sheets. I was hoping that I could use these like this, you know, but it didn't quite work out that way, because with that, it's weird. And I can't put this too close, otherwise the flag will be gone. So let's try that. Man, that's too far up. I cannot see. Make sure that it's not crooked. Okay. What do you think? I think that's it. Oh, I could not find, you know, all my enamel dots. I want to use a few enamel dots. I thought that would be cute, maybe in the middle of this or something. But all my enamel dot is with collections. I went through a whole bunch of collections, but nothing I have the right blue. The closest one I had is Simple Vintage Indigo Garden. So I'm going to use it, but I tell you, I got to go to Gina Design or whatever and buy some of her enamel dots. So I have a few different colors that are not part of collection. That way, when I need something, I don't have to go and search for it, because right now I don't have things categorized enough to be able to use it that way. I know, but that looks weird in the middle here. Yeah, I don't like it. Don't like that. Maybe just kind of a cluster. Maybe just a cluster here. A few blues here. I'm going to use up everything here, and then I won't have any to use with my Simple Vintage Indigo when I get around using it. Just a little bit. I should pop out my Nouveau drop and stuff to use too, huh? I could do that. I don't like this. What? I don't like the way that looks. So I'm just gonna do it like this. Maybe I just use it over here. Yeah, I see people do all these beautiful splattering and things. My goodness. Just have not gotten into that yet, but I will. I have plenty of ink, spray, and all that good stuff to try. It's just every time I do something, it always seems like I'm doing it at the last minute. This is due tomorrow. Actually, no, you know what? This is not due until the next day. Man, I'm pretty good. So we will see. I'm going to add a small one here. That's just odd to me. I don't know why. It doesn't look good. Maybe it's just too pure white, you know? And so this is just seems strange. Probably need to do something more on the paper, on the pattern paper, maybe that would look better. But right now, I'm just gonna leave it. If I figure out a way that I like to use it on there, I will. But I do like it there. So I'm gonna leave it the way it is, okay? So that's about it. Again, some of the all the links for everybody that is participating in this paper crafters YouTubers hop for September. Fully booked is below, and so yeah, just click and give them some love, and I will talk to you later. I hope you like this. Bye.